Welcome back to Soulreign. I've got a fantastic guest for you. You know that I do. Today, I've got my friend, my colleague, Jeff Broomfield. He's a certified master hypnotist, NLP practitioner, and the creator of the Hypnotic Awakening Experience. Jeff has over 15 years of experience specializing in helping clients break free from subconscious conditioning, reconnect with their authentic selves. His groundbreaking Outside in Theory explores societal programming, shapes identity and behavior, and how hypnotists can guide clients back to inner freedom. If this sounds like you're going to enjoy this episode
Hmm.
today. Jeff's work bridges hypnosis, psychology, spirituality, and creates a powerful, lasting transformation. Welcome, Jeff.
Hi, Amanda. Thanks for having me on. I truly appreciate this experience.
It is always a pleasure. We don't get together nearly enough. We always see each other at conferences, and sometimes it feels like we're just catching each
Yeah,
other in between the halls. And it's like, hey, how did your talk go? Or I might be
yeah,
in the back of the room, or you might be in mine. And it's just like, oh, I enjoyed that. Hey, thanks. See you later. And we never
yeah,
have this one on one sit down time. So I'm really glad that you're here today and we get to have this conversation.
yeah. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and have my words heard by other people. That's
You
always an awesome thing when you can reach other people and help them and help to make a change in their life.
you've been doing a lot of really hard work the past couple of years. And I feel really privileged in that I've kind of have had a front row seat from a distance to see you evolving through it. And it's been so cool and so profound to see. Do you want to talk about some of that?
Um, yeah, I've been going through a lot of things, and uh, I'm going to start. Where should I start? Here's where I'm going to start. I was laying in a stranger's bed when all of a sudden I was overwhelmed by a wave of emotion.
You did not bury the lead there. Family friendly, Jeff. Family friendly.
Family friendly. It is family friendly. Um, I was overcome with this wave of emotions, right?
Yeah.
And it was a inner warmth that began to rise within me, growing like a fire within, like a warm hug from the inside out. And I was completely enveloped in a golden white light at the time. And I felt completely in love. And that's when something shifted inside of me. And I could see it. I could see all the love in my life that I missed before, things that I'd misunderstood, expressions of love that I once missed. And now I can see them clearly and I can hear them too.
Yeah.
And the words, the laughter, the quiet moments of care, the things that were always there, but I just wasn't able to receive them before. And that's when tears of joy started streaming down the face. And that's when I knew. And have you ever had one of those moments where something completely changed your life and you just couldn't go back to where you were
Yeah.
before? Yeah. Yeah. And that was the moment when I awakened for good. And that's when I found my true self again and remembered who I really am, a soul having a human experience. And I experienced a spiritual awakening before, and this showed me the path back to the self, not as a one time glimpse, which is what a spiritual awakening is usually about, but as a repeatable process where you can reconnect with your soul again. A process that anyone can use to induce a spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
And the experience was so profound that I made it my mission to share it. And I want to help awaken a million others so that they can remember who they truly are too.
I like that you say repeatable process because my first spiritual awakening, I was 16 and I've
Uh,
had to repeat it many, many times. And I think it's just, it
yeah,
can be the human condition sometimes to crawl back into
yeah,
habits, into neural pathways, doing what neural pathways do. We go through different things and then we kind of fall back into mild ignorance sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah.
What did you find triggered your spiritual awakening usually?
It was similar to yours in that I had that moment where I connected with the light, but rather than seeing all the love around me, I felt what the light was. So my biggest love at that moment was my ferret,
Mhm.
and she was passing. And in her passing, I was somewhere between lucid and awakening when I knew spiritually that she was passing. And we had a whole moment of like soul connection. And in that moment, I experienced source, I experienced light, and she unlocked all of my mediumship
Yeah.
gifts, which is a lot at 16. And so I spent the next, decade running from it because that's
Yeah.
what we do.
Yeah.
So yeah, then in the 20s, I needed to come back to it. So that's why when you say spiritual awakening, it's not just a one-shot deal. You have to go through several times. It's like, oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to come back
Yeah,
to that awakening. The first time was a glimpse. It's like
yeah.
the first time it happened was just after a time I was working in a family business, and I had been working in the family business for most of my life, right? I'm in my 40s, I guess, at the time. Yeah, mid 40s at the time. And I'd been working for my dad for my entire life. And he was always like, I got to pass the company to you. And, you do it my way until it's your turn. And we had family business succession people. It was a huge company. Uh, we did all the dollar store greeting cards for North America at one time. If you went in a
Wow.
dollar store and bought one, a happy. So I've been saying happy birthday and stuff for years, right, to everybody, right?
Yeah.
Well, printing it anyways. And
Yeah. To
I
everybody
was,
and their mom.
yeah, yeah. And I was supposed to be taking this company over. I had big plans for it. I prepared for it, but my dad could not trust me to take over the company because I was the wrong type of person.
Mm,
I was too empathic. I wasn't as driven and forceful as he was. And so he couldn't see me being able to successfully take over the company. And with all these people, the experts and everything says that, yeah, he's never going to do this. He's never going to turn this company over to you. And what happened was that when I actually left the company, my whole system collapsed. My whole identity, everything I believed about myself. I was the print dude,
yeah.
and I didn't have a printing press anymore. I didn't have any of that stuff. I tried to cling on to that personality, and the more that I tried to hang on to it, the worse it get, the worse that I felt. And so when I finally uh, broke, I wasn't so much doing hypnosis at the time. I had learned a little bit of hypnosis because I had a breathing program that I created.
What prompted you to even learn hypnosis at that time when you were the print guy?
Well, I had to find something new to do. And before all this happened, I used to get really bad migraine headaches. And so I went to this guy. Actually, I went with my mom. My mom had the migraine headaches too. And it was the Ontario Migraine Clinic. And we had to go there twice a week. And he
Yeah.
gave me a breathing exercise to do for 10 minutes, 3 times a day. And for the first couple of months, I didn't quite get the breathing exercise. And well, how come it's not working? It's, well, have you been doing the breathing exercise? No. Okay. So, and the other thing he does when you're in there, you do the breathing exercise with all these needles. One would go in the corner of your eye, one in your finger, different places like that. And when I started doing the breathing exercises, they went away.
Yeah.
And what I learned through all that was that it was a lot of stress and my breathing. And that's when I started learning about that stuff. And I created the migraine ease breathing method because I was looking for a way to anchor that breathing, that pattern. And my studies and everything told me hypnosis was the way to go. And so I took some YouTube training and created a program. And yeah, that's how I first got into hypnosis.
That's
Uh,
usually what it is. It's either we're in total devastation, like the
mhm.
dark night of the ego story that you were in the middle of when I interrupted you,
Yeah.
or we just need more in life. We want to
Yeah.
resolve those issues finally, and nothing else works. And that's how we get here. We're either trying to help ourselves or help someone else. And that's the common thread with this industry. Uh,
Yeah.
but continue. It sounds like you got the Dark Night of the Ego starter pack.
Well, so that was okay. So the breathing method. When I was looking into all that stuff, I found Burt Goldman. You familiar with him?
No,
Quantum jumping.
I
And
do a form of quantum jumping, but I didn't learn it there.
okay, I learned it from Burt Goldman, and I took his program, and I was watching or listening to his audios,
Mhm.
and I was doing it more than once, a bunch of times. It's not really hypnosis, but it is hypnosis, and it took me into a place, and I started having these experiences. And at one point, I made a declaration. I finally came to the decision: God doesn't exist,
Mm.
and that's when it hit
Ouch.
me. That's when my first spiritual awakening actually hit me, and it took me
Yeah.
almost like I was doing a past life regression, but I was standing up, and it was vivid. It was almost like it was a three-dimensional thing, and I was seeing through my own eyes, and I was experiencing things and seeing things that showed me that God is inside of you, right? That we are all a piece of God. Like this whole everything that's here is God, and we're just a part of it.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it was a totally different the what I was saying when I said that God didn't exist. What I was saying is the version that they told us about
Yes.
that doesn't exist.
That
And
was my first awakening. That
when
was
I allowed
that
that to
was what I got
crumble,
from it. Yeah.
okay, yeah, it's inside,
Yeah.
and
And it wasn't
that's
even a word. Like it wasn't even God or the concept. It was just, oh, this is what we all are. This is where we all come from, and this is where we all go back to. And at 16, I didn't put together the profoundness of what that was. I just kind of kept it to myself and moved on with life and thought, man, I'm weird. You know, like,
it showed me my whole journey. It took me
yeah.
out into the universe and showed me stuff, and I was like flying by planets and stuff. It was insane.
Wow. You
They
must have
threw
been
me they
really,
threw me in
really
the loony
ready.
bin, by the way.
That happens. I think it takes a stronger soul to be thrown in the deep end. I'm glad I really had more of a gentle, slow, we were going to do this with you over decades, no rush, kid. Because some people really do have a rough go of it and it's all in one seat. And then sometimes they have a rough ride and it goes right into psychosis. And before they know it, they're getting psychiatric intervention. And I'm glad I wasn't on that roller coaster. Thank you, soul. You did good. You planned this out beautifully.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an amazing experience. The loony bin itself wasn't so good. That's when they started drugging me and all that kind of stuff to
So
take
you
it out
did
of
have
me.
that experience. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was
Oh,
huge. Yeah, yeah. And once they determine that you're not normal,
mhm,
your rights disappear. They lock you up,
mm.
and they don't give you any care. They don't talk to you. They keep all the crazies all in one room, and it's all about making sure you take your drugs. And if you don't take your drugs, then they strap you down to your bed.
Which is even more soul crushing. So you just lose all agency over
Oh yeah,
yourself. And people are there because they've already lost all agency over themselves.
yeah. And then they don't have enough like clothes for everybody. They don't have like it's not very clean in there. It's like they don't respect any of those people at all. But it's not just there. It's like the whole
Yeah.
hospital's a mess like that, anyways. But it's the what they do to people that are going through this is
Yeah.
criminal, really.
Not humane. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a test where a guy sent a dozen people into say, yeah, I've been hearing some voices, and all 12 of them were committed. They just said a couple of things. Everything else was normal. These were all vetted as normal people, and they took these people. And
See,
they
this
put
is
it,
why I
one
didn't
of
tell
these guys,
anybody anything when I had mediumship. It's like, I'm not telling nobody nothing.
you have to watch what you say, because the people around you, your family, all your loved ones, they hear you talking like that. It's like they're the ones who pick up and say, he's
Mm,
crazy. There's something wrong here. And that's because they're all what I call outside in thinking, right? That's the
mm,
programming that they have. And when you start talking from the inside out,
yeah.
right, you're upside down and backwards to these people. If you watch the show Stranger Things at all,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right, and they got the upside down.
Yeah.
I got the outside in, which is the same thing, but instead of it being a physical construct, it's more of a mental construct where you give up all your stuff that's inside of you. You give up your sovereignty, you give up your intuition, creativity, your desire, imagination, creativity, all that kind of stuff. You give all that stuff. And when you give up that stuff, that's all your childhood stuff. When you grow up, you're not supposed to have that anymore. But all that comes from the soul.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way we're taught is to suppress our own soul.
All in the name of safety, security, and acceptance, ladies and gents.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's one reason why we do this, right? It's our core wound of not
Mm,
enough, right? We give up those parts because we decide that stuff has let us down. It's unreliable. And if I don't give this up, I won't fit in. I won't be normal.
yeah.
And so they make normal look like something completely different, so that you have to suppress that stuff. And if you keep that stuff, if you keep your soul and you try to grow up,
Yeah.
what do? They give you ADHD medication.
Yeah.
And I was diagnosed as ADHD as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me this pill called Adderall. And I started taking it, and the feeling that it gave me reminded me of something that, well, back in the 80s,
We probably can't say on most streaming services.
well, I used to have some addictions. And Adderall is exactly the same as cocaine,
Mm, okay.
right? It gives you the same feeling, the same effect, same side effects and everything.
Yeah.
And after, I think it was maybe a month of taking it, I just totally quit it because I don't like that feeling. I quit that and I gave that up decades ago. I never wanted to do that again. It ruined my life. And here I am. The doctor gave it to me.
Yeah.
And he gives it to 5-year-olds,
Yeah. I
right? Because
lucked
the
out.
5-year-old,
Yeah.
5-year-old is daydreaming too much.
Yeah. I had
He-
lucked out. The first psychiatrist I had gave me progressive muscle relaxation,
okay.
and that was enough. Yeah.
That sounds much better.
I'm glad. I'm glad it went
Yeah.
down that way. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish that I had something like that, right? Something to help me to sort things and figure it out. When I had my awakening, there wasn't stuff around. You couldn't Google it to find out what it was. I was all alone.
Yeah.
And talking to I didn't realize I shouldn't talk to anybody and tell them all this stuff.
Mm.
He's losing it.
Oh, that's hard. I'm so sorry. And yet that's a common experience. A lot
Yeah.
of people have been on that journey.
Yeah. And one of the things when I got out of there, it's like, I've got to find some way to help these people.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how I was going to do it, what I was going to do. I had no idea. It took me years to find hypnosis, like actual hypnosis training. And even with that, I was more attracted to the NLP side of things, and the hypnosis was just a part of it. And I still didn't.
Yeah.
I still didn't get it then. I learned all this stuff so that I could be a better communicator. I was trying to fix me so that I could fit into the family better. What was I doing wrong?
Yeah.
So I went to work with my brother for 3 years, and that almost crushed my soul there.
Yeah, it's really uncomfortable when you're not meant to fit into that box.
Yeah, and those tools didn't help me with it.
Mm.
maybe made it worse because I knew what I was
Yeah.
missing out on. And when I left there, that's when I found Dolores Cannon,
Yeah.
QHHT. And that's when I had that experience. When I said that I was laying in a stranger's bed, uh, it's a good idea to
Yeah.
swap sessions with another
That's right.
practitioner.
I've been
And
in a few. Yeah.
I drove to her place, and the couch wasn't, well, just let's do it upstairs. Well, it's like, okay. That's why I was in a
There needs to be a disclaimer with this work. And the running joke is my mom would be so proud. I've seen so many headboards. It's because I do virtual sessions and people like to be in their bed.
yeah.
There needs to be a disclaimer for our profession. We're going to see a lot of beds and bed-like surfaces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
With QHHT, they sell don't get a recliner, get a bed.
Yeah.
So I got a day bed in my office here, and it seems like strange to regular people seeing it there, but
Yeah.
it works. It does the job.
I'm
Most
not
people
that
just use
luxe.
most
I'm
people
not
just
that luxe. I've got the Reiki table, and I did get a nice big lash gel memory foam. And then I've got an infrared crystal mat. And that's how I roll. But for the most part, it's comfortable enough. Yeah.
yeah, that'll do the
One
job.
day.
Yeah.
One day
Yeah.
I'll upgrade.
Yeah. Well, it's been a journey trying to sort this stuff out. And when I first started doing it with the QHAT sessions and stuff, it was 6 to 8 hours for a session.
Yeah.
And people were in hypnosis for 2 to 3 hours. So that's a long time. But they'd get out of it, and it's like, oh, it's been that long already. They come out of it and they say, oh, it's 30 minutes. No, it's 2.5 hours.
No, I've had time to sit here and watch the sunset.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Have you seen the sunset with the client? They're laying in their bed or whatever in their room, and the sun's setting. They don't have a light on in their room, and
Yep.
suddenly you're in darkness.
That's right. I've learned. Yeah.
Those are always fun.
But there's always those first few experiences.
Yeah.
You always remember them.
Yep. Yeah. Now we talk about trauma, and I saw a video the other day, and this was a little boy, elf on a shelf. And apparently, he was told if you touch the elf, then something bad happens to the
I
elf.
saw that same video.
And the
I
kid
couldn't.
starts screaming. It's a skeleton with a hat, and he
Yeah.
starts screaming.
Yeah.
He's going to see somebody like us in 20,
Mhm.
30 years to help him.
If that long, that kid's going to end up with insomnia. He's going to hang, severe anxiety. That was a total trauma response for that kid. You see the parents laughing and they have no idea
Oh,
what they just did.
yeah. And they're going to probably pay for all kinds of therapy
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's going to cost
He's going to
them
be
big time.
somebody's regression client one day. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's going to be a total people pleaser.
Mm.
He's going to be following rules blindly
Authority.
because
Yeah.
he was told and he disobeyed, and look what happened.
Yeah.
And so he's probably set in his mind, I'm never gonna disobey again.
Yeah. Going to be
And that's
crushed by
how,
the weight of that guilt.
yeah, that's the kind of thing that causes people pleasing and procrastination and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because that, parents had a little bit of fun, and look what happens to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when things like that happen, when you have the elf on a shelf watching you, and he's reporting back to Santa, telling you if you're good or bad, then what that does is it sets us up to believe that we're always being watched. If you take the elf out of it and just Santa, when we didn't have the elf, all we had was Santa, but Santa was always watching us.
Yeah. Or Jesus.
Or Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, that was enough.
Yeah. And it was telling us that we weren't enough. All the time, it's you're not enough, and you're being judged. And by the way, in the case with the elf, here's the elf who is going to judge your behavior, and he's the worst behavior in the world because all the things that you set him up to do, And what that does is it teaches kids to accept that the people who control them and make their rules for them don't have to follow those rules.
Oh, narcissistic bosses, here he comes.
Politicians,
Yeah.
or even if it's a police who aren't following the rules, people will blindly do what
Mm,
the police tell them to do anyways,
yeah.
because it's okay if the police aren't behaving properly,
Yeah.
right? And you can see that going on all over the place. Police don't always behave properly, do they?
They're
But we
people at the
accept
end of
it.
the day, humans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but we accept it. And all of this stuff that we do points to us and says, you're not enough.
Mhm.
Some outside force is going to decide it for you. And so that installs internal surveillance on our own behavior. So that we
Yeah.
try to behave and act a certain way. And we try to behave and act a certain way so that we fit in with the rest of society. Because if you don't, you're like the Grinch.
Yeah.
And you're an outcast of society. And so in order to fit in, we have to give up all those things on the inside. We have to give up our soul. We have to suppress all that stuff that is our soul in order to fit into society.
So, how do people start to identify when they're suppressing their soul in that way?
Well, most of us are doing it. If you're people pleasing,
Mhm.
any procrastination, if you got imposter syndrome or anything like that, ADHD. ADHD, I believe, is more that the programming didn't entirely work. There's some glitches in the program.
Otherwise known as divergent. That's how I identify. Divergent.
Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, you think differently,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And so you're not thinking from the outside in like they're trying to tell you. You've
Yeah.
got a little bit of the inside, but it's jumbled up. You're not quite sure. Your wires are crossed. And so it's confusing
Mm.
and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, one of the things for ADHD is if you're creative, if you're daydreaming and stuff like
Oh, yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that's normal. The creativity comes from the part of you that is your soul,
Yeah.
right? Because that's why people buy art, the super creative stuff. That's why people uh, love music. It's because it comes from the soul. And when it comes from the soul, then that is when people are attracted to it. And
Yeah.
quite often, when we try to do that kind of stuff in the real world, they downplay that stuff. They take art and stuff like that out of school. Oh, you don't want to be an artist. You'll never be anything as an artist.
Mm.
As a musician, you'll never make any money as a musician. You need
Yeah.
to go out and get a real job and start, collecting garbage or whatever it is. That's Then you got a real job, you know, doing doing any of that kind of stuff that is linked to your soul is seen as bad stuff.
And there were no
Even
titles. There were no job descriptions for the things that we became. Think about it. It was really limiting. What do you want to be when you grow up? Either a life strategist like Dr. Phil or an attorney, an advocate. I didn't use the word coach or hypnotist, let alone QHHT practitioner. That wasn't, we're not, those weren't viable or available or known.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we had no clue of any of that kind of stuff back then.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's like doctor. Oh, you got to be a doctor. That's the best thing. And doctors they go to a lot of schooling, and
Right.
they are told what to think,
Yeah.
and they don't.
Yeah.
Most of them don't venture off of what they've been told. It's like they've got this framework that
Yeah.
they've been given, and they work within that framework. And if you bring a problem to them, they've memorized that if you bring this here, then it's that over there, based on what they've been told. And if it is wrong, they have no clue.
Mhm. Yeah.
Same with therapy. I mean, how many
Mm.
people have you had come to you that have been to months or even years of weekly therapy?
Years. Yeah.
And how many sessions would you say that they resolved their problem with you?
Under 3. Yeah.
Under 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is that? I mean, how many years of experience? 6 years of university education plus 2 years of monitored practice,
Yeah.
and then you can become a therapist, and then you don't help anybody.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the show Mr. Monk?
Oh goodness, it's been a minute. I think I've at least caught a couple of episodes. So, but I
Yeah,
don't know the storyline full out. You might have
it was
to.
a guy that had a messed up head, but at the same time he was a genius and he could figure out, who murdered who and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And part of the show, throughout the show, he would be going to his psychologist.
Mhm.
And so all these visits to the psychologist, and that just kept him barely capable of working for the police and helping them solve all these crimes and stuff. And then the series ended, and then 20 years later they brought it back and they pulled him out of retirement.
Yeah.
And then he appeared in the psychologist's office, exactly the same as he was from day one. Absolutely no improvement in him. And that's how they show therapy on TV, as if, you don't get any result. They just help them cope with life, with the
Mhm.
problems that he had. They didn't help him solve anything.
I think it can for some people. Um, I don't know
It,
that they are the majority, unfortunately, but I think it can for some people. And for the rest of them, well, then there's hypnosis and NLP and the wonderful ways that we work outside of the box or
yeah,
outside in, as you like to say.
the outside in,
Yeah.
yeah, the outside in programming. That's what most people are suffering with right now. The idea that they're not good enough.
Yeah.
That is the core wound. If you're fear of rejection, why you be rejected? I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
All those kind of things. How come I can't get justice? Well, you're not good enough for justice. So the core wounds of all the core wounds is not good enough. And that's when we suppress our soul and we decide, you know what, we're just going to fit in. We're going to be normal like everybody else. We're going to pretend and live the life that's expected of us.
Yeah.
And what is the number one regret of the dying?
Not trying, not living, not doing the thing.
Not living the life that others expected of you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's a reason for that, right? It's the outside in. People have given up who they are so that they can pretend to be who they need to be in order to fit into society. And they don't figure it out until they're ready to die. One of their findings is that people never let themselves be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a realization.
Yeah.
That they didn't let themselves be happy. Right? Because happiness is something that you allow from within.
Yeah.
And it takes a near-death experience in order to figure that out for them.
Yeah.
You don't have to go that far with me.
Right.
I
Or
can help you
rock
figure that out.
bottom.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to go to rock bottom. You don't need to have all that stuff. Now we can use hypnosis to trigger a spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
Whenever you want. And it's a
I don't even
controlled
have to
spiritual
trigger it.
awakening.
It just organically unfolds
Well,
as they're
yeah,
ready. It's just immediately there in my experience. We don't even have to try. It's just, as they're opening that package.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's when you have that connection to your soul and you
Mhm.
suddenly just like you step into your light and you're your soul. And that's what I find to be a spiritual awakening, is when you actually step into that. And when you're afraid, you disconnect that part of your soul. It's
Yeah.
like you suppress it. And so every time something bad happens to you, you hang on to that. We were taught to suppress our emotion. You better not shout,
Mhm.
you better not
Cry.
pout, you better not cry.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Suppress your emotions was what we're told to do.
Yeah.
And I see our emotions as our soul. It tells us where we are with our soul. So if you are fully in alignment with your soul, that's when you feel love, right? That's the spiritual awakening. You're fully in alignment with your soul. And if you feel any other emotion, it's because you're suppressing that love. And so that is the absence of love. And so when you're in a rage and hate and that kind of stuff, that is where you're totally removed from your soul. You totally are out of alignment at that moment. And when you come back to it, then you're back into a love with your soul, right? And so everything connects. When it's kind of like a guitar string, you know, you got that whole open note, and then you've got the frets, right? So then you start downplaying your emotions. Where do I have that? Where do I have that? Oh, darn, it's not that close. Your different emotions, your emotional scale, those are the frets going down. And the further down you get on that fretboard, the more negative your emotional state is. It's like walking away from a fire and it gets colder and colder. And that's you getting away from your soul.
Yeah. And so if someone would like to avoid the Dark Night of the Soul starter kit or avoid rock bottom, at what point is a good time for them to come and see you? What kind of things are they going through?
When they had enough, when they're ready to change, when they're ready to give up who they were. If you want to hang on to your anxiety and it's like you're part of your identity, you don't really want to give up that anxiety, well, you're not ready yet. You have to be ready to let it go. You have to be ready to accept that, you know, it's something in here that's going on. It's not out there, right? If you try to fix other people, you're never going to get what you need. Once you do the work inside, and it's not fixing you because you're not broken, right? I don't fix anybody. What I have them do is what they've been doing is they've been fixing themselves, putting on all these masks. And what we do is we just remove all those masks. And the way we do that is those masks come with that emotional trauma, that stuff. And that emotional trauma could be something that you decided, let's say, here's a common one for many of us. Let's say you are 7 years old, you're just starting to grow your critical faculty and start to see things, and you say, I don't think Santa Claus is real. It seems like everybody's lying to me. He can't come down that chimney. And you figure all this stuff out. And your parents say, oh, well, then you won't get any more presents if you don't believe in Santa Claus. Right? They basically gaslight you to make you believe that Santa Claus is right. And you look at yourself and say, that internal stuff that told me all this, it was wrong. And so you get angry at that inside part of you. You suppress it. That's the inner child that we talk about. You suppress that part of you, and you decide to grow up. And by growing up, you suppress your soul to become this other version of you, the fake version of you. That's how they install the outside in. And those traumas and everything that are there, they're the things that cause that, those beliefs. And so the only way, and we're taught to suppress them, so the only way to get rid of them is to release them and let them go. And I have a content-free process that I use for that. I call it the mental and emotional purge. It's based on Carl Smith's emotional detox. And I don't know where he learned it from.
Most of the listeners here are not hypnotherapy trained. So if you want to elaborate on content-free.
Okay, content-free means that you don't have to drag up your crap in order to deal with it.
Yeah.
That means that I give some instructions telling your subconscious to release those emotions. You don't have to experience them. You don't have to know what they are, when they happened. You don't have to relive that horrible experience in order to let go of the emotions behind it.
Yeah.
If you do, we have the movie theater. You know, you go in the movie theater, you sit down, and then you take yourself and you put yourself in the projector room and you watch yourself watching the movie of your trauma, and you forward and reverse it and you do all that. You don't have to do any of that.
Yeah.
You can just release it without going through the trauma again. And that's the beauty of the content-free hypnosis.
Yeah.
And when Carl Smith, he did negative emotions. And so I found that wasn't enough, because you can't let go of grief.
Mm.
Grief is a big one. Grief is any loss
Grief
that
is a
you
tough
have.
one. It is, I will say it is a little bit different than the others. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what I have my clients do with grief is it's about acceptance, right? Because when you hang on to that and you don't want to let go of all the things that you woulda, coulda, shoulda done with that other person, or with
Yeah.
losing money is grief too.
Mhm.
So I find with gamblers, they lose the money and
Mhm.
then they have the grief and they want to get the money back. So they try to gamble some more to get that money back.
Mhm.
And once they let go of that grief, then they didn't have to keep going back. And
Mm.
so the grief is anything that's a loss, and you have to accept the loss and say, you know what, it really sucks. That person, I love that person, and it would have been great if they were here, but they're not here
Yeah.
anymore.
Mhm.
And I wish it didn't happen, but I accept it, and I'm
Yeah.
going to move on with my life.
And I think
And
sometimes also still finding ways to love them just because they're not physical doesn't mean we stop loving them. So
well, then
having
you
an
can,
expression for that love is important.
well, when people are missing that person and grieving that person, are they always remembering the good times, or is
Yeah.
it the bad times that cause the problem?
Yeah, if it's a
Right?
flashback, then that you need help.
The,
Right.
yeah, the things when they
Yeah.
start crying and doing all that
Mhm.
stuff,
Yeah.
and it's uncontrolled, they won't let go, they won't move on and do anything. Well, I mean, first of all, you have to be willing to accept your loss.
Mhm.
And if you are, I say that being stuck in grief is like being caught in quicksand.
Mm.
And the more you struggle with grief, the more that it pulls you in.
Okay.
And so when you relax and you accept that you have this loss, and then what I have them do is pick themselves up, pull themselves out of that quicksand, and set themselves back on solid ground again.
Yeah.
And it takes 5 to 10 minutes for people to do this. And all the grief that they've been hanging on to for their whole life, they just let it all go.
Yeah.
So that's grief. I added grief and I added chords.
Yeah.
So cord cutting.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, right? Because we have
Mhm.
this person over here who did this bad thing to us, and and what you're doing is you're swallowing poison, hoping it hurts them,
Yeah.
right? Any anger is like poison in your body. That cortisol, that is poison. That's the poison that we're talking about here. But you think that it's going to transfer to this other person and hurt them. It doesn't. They probably don't even know that you're angry or that they even hurt you. And so when you cut those toxic cords, again, it takes like 5 to 10 minutes, and some people use scissors. Somebody used an axe at one time, chains, whatever you need.
Another divergent.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever you need to cut those toxic cords. And when they do it, it's like so relieving for them,
Mhm.
right? Even things that you believe that you did to somebody else and you need to be forgiven, you cut that toxic cord too,
They
and
don't
then you're
even
free.
have to
Once
be full toxicity either. We can just have them as a result of loving someone. And over
oh,
time, it's just not necessarily helpful, especially if it's loving someone from a people pleasing stance or, anywhere where you're self denying, self reducing.
yeah, and the other place is with the outside in, when you're relying on somebody to give you love, right? That's from the outside,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Love isn't something that you can give another person. It's
Mhm.
only inside of you, and you can only feel your own love.
Yeah.
Right? If somebody else is in a loving state, you can resonate with that and feel your own, but you can't really feel theirs.
Mhm.
Um, and and so when it comes down to that love, when you finally get rid of all that stuff that was in the way, that is all the stuff that was covering up your ability to find love. And once you release it all, then you can take the journey into your light.
Yeah.
And that is what I explained. That's what people feel, right? They feel
Yeah.
that warm feeling come over them. They see the light, and that this is people commonly describe it the same way without me telling them what to think. Sometimes,
Mhm.
sometimes it's hard, and some people don't know. Like they just feel it, and they don't talk so much. But other people, they're really descriptive, and they all basically
Yeah.
say the same thing.
Even the portion you were talking about right before the light experience, where they can actually remove the barriers to feeling other people's love, is really a profound experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you see, when you when you when you get into that place of love,
Mm-hmm.
then you can see all the love that's inside of you, all the love that's been around you your whole life.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're angry, somebody's angry, right? You can't get them to remember a happy time
No.
in that anger. They can only remember all their anger from that anger time.
Mm-hmm.
But once you find your love, you can find all your love moments from in there. You can see it all. And
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing when you get there, right? I mean, I, I couldn't even say the word love for the longest time. It's been in the last
Really?
few years, yeah.
Wow.
Um, I just felt weird saying it, right?
Mm.
Um, because everybody would say that they love you and then they hit you,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, but and when somebody when people do things and they attribute it to love, it's like confusing. Like that's love,
Mm.
control, and forcing you to be a certain way. That's love,
Yeah.
right? Those are not love.
Mm.
That guy who's protecting and beating people up for you and stuff like that. That's
Mm.
not about love. That's about control and making sure nobody else can touch you because you are
Yeah.
his property,
Wow. Yeah. Hmm.
right? So people misunderstand what love is and they come up with all kinds of different ideas. I, there is no real standard definition for love. They leave that open.
Yeah.
Why? Well, love is your soul, right? Like,
Mm.
shouldn't the religions of the world have figured this out by now?
Yeah. No, and then when we do have those deeper experiences, words just pale in comparison. There's no way to quantify it into language. It just isn't. It isn't possible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
And
what have been
that's
some of your favorite journeys that clients have gone through, and what has it been like on the other side for them that you've had the opportunity to see?
I had a client who had a multiple personality disorder, dissociative identity disorder,
Yeah.
and we're into the session. Um, and this is when I was doing more of the QHHT kind of stuff. And so we started off with a past life regression, and instead of going into a past life, she ended up into a couple of different personalities. And so I said,
Mm.
forget this. I'm not going to mess around with this. Let's go in and do the mental and emotional purge, right? Actually, at the time, it's probably just a straight up emotional detox.
And that, ladies and gents, is why you want someone who's done more study with hypnosis than just QHHT. I can harp on this all day, but that's why it's important.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, when you see that something's not working and you move off into another area, right? Like I could have panicked and freaked out with all this stuff, but no,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, let's switch gears and just do this over here. I got a full toolkit that I can, probably 1,000 different techniques I can pull from,
Yes.
and so I just went into the emotional detox, and she's like 5 or 10 minutes into it,
Hmm.
and she's like sitting there and she goes, I think it's just me in here now.
Yeah. It got real quiet.
Yeah, all of a sudden, it's just gone. All that other stuff, all those other personalities, they were gone.
So, was it
Now,
actually multiple personality disorder or DID, or was it more a lot of interjects?
she would have situations where she would, um, say she would go in to brush her teeth. Then the little boy would jump in, right? She would have absolutely no connection, no memory
Mhm.
of what the boy did. And then when she came back to, she couldn't find her toothbrush.
Mm.
Well, he just hid it,
Yeah.
right? Playing games on her, stuff like that. There was a baby, and the baby would come out, especially in times of stress, and
Mhm.
if she was trying to, work with her kids with something,
Yeah.
all of a sudden the
Yeah.
baby would come out.
Okay. So that was true
And
DID. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Not
like
just interjects. Yeah.
right. And some of them she had no clue what happened when she was that version of her.
Mm. Yeah.
And yeah, so it was it was pretty amazing, actually, that feeling of knowing when she was there. And this is actually on video too, so you can actually go and see it for yourself. Now, she
Wow.
did have to have, like, the baby came back a few times after that, and we had to do another follow-up session in order to totally
That's a
get that
little
to go.
harder when they're pre-verbal. Yeah.
Yeah, well, think about it, right? She's been suffering with this for I don't know how many years,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, here she is. Uh, Here she is, and the problem's gone,
Yeah.
right? Like, but that one little bit comes back, right? It was one session. It was only one session,
Yeah.
and so putting in a second session, a couple months down the road, and now she's like she's changed her name to her actual name now, and
Yeah.
she's like taken on a completely different life now. It's
A
incredible the
more
changes that
authentic
she's
one.
made.
That's the fun thing. Yeah.
Here's another one. And this is just happened. I just got an email from her today. She's getting her new glasses.
Okay.
And this is a client who had some problems with her eye. Well, she had a wipeout and she had some eye damage from it.
Oh, wow.
And her eye was at a -10.
Okay.
Doctors wanted to do surgery. She couldn't get glasses for it or anything. There was no hope. And we did a session.
Mm-hmm.
And she just went back to the eye doctor. And she has a -5.13 or something. She was over a -10 before.
Wow.
Now it's a 5.13. And she's picking up her glasses today. She can actually see out of this eye, and she's going to be able to see clearly now.
That's huge.
From hypnosis.
Yeah. Power of the mind. Yeah.
Another one had, and I don't do medical stuff, and I don't diagnose medical stuff or anything, but this one had Parkinson's disease.
Okay.
And when she got up from her session, she started stomping her feet, and she went out my door, went all the way back down the other end and back without her cane or anything, like a normal person.
Yeah.
She was given like months to live.
Wow.
She went on for another 5 years.
What was at the bottom of that, the Parkinson's? Was it an unwillingness to be embodied, or?
I don't even really know what it was.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I remember one of her past lives. She was this the warrior woman riding on a horse with a big sword, and it was a really violent past life. And there was some stuff going on there. Her biggest thing at the time is that her son passed away from a fentanyl overdose. And that's that grief and everything. That's why she was there.
And
but that wasn't
enough. That would be enough to want to push someone out of reality and being present and embodied.
Yeah. So, those are some of just the amazing things. I mean, I deal with a lot of normal people who just don't feel good enough. They're people pleasers who all of a sudden start setting boundaries and standing up for themselves without having to do any effort.
Yeah.
Right. Because when you suppress your soul in that, without your soul there, there's no boundaries. When your soul is there, you enforce your boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Some people tell me, "Oh, I'm not creative at all." Well, you're suppressing your soul. You're 100% creative.
Yeah.
Your joy and your playfulness, right? We give that stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
And most people can't play, right? Like, how many people are fully into getting up on a stage show and do hypnosis?
Yeah. No.
Right?
You'll never catch me do that. I will do other things, but I'll never do that. No chance, because I know how suggestible I am.
I got up on stage for the Canadian Hypnosis Conference, and it was Luke Howard doing
he's
it.
great.
So
love him.
That was fun. That was fun. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to see those videos of myself. No. I will play in lots of unrecorded ways.
People can say, "Oh, I recorded it. You want to see it?" Yeah, maybe not.
No.
Especially when I was pretending I was David Hasselhoff doing the Baywatch
Baywatch
run
run. Oh
slow
God.
mo.
Yeah.
Standing in one place. That was awkward.
That's pretty good. Oh man. Yeah, that's true. And I think I do see a lot of clients who have a hard time playing, and we do end up usually working on the suppressed inner child stuff, but I think I take a different route than you do.
Yeah.
But I am at the crux of it where I am starting to make some changes, and I don't recommend just straight QHHT sessions anymore. It's kind of ruined for me. And I find
Yeah.
because all the bigger results come from the additional work. So as you're pulling people through that process of outside in, roughly how many times will you work together? Or is that very person dependent?
Well, it used to be a 7-hour session on
Yeah.
average. And I started realizing that when I added the mental and emotional purge in to a QHHT session.
Mhm.
And so I almost, in a lot of cases, I was taking out the past life regression and just doing that instead.
Okay.
And then we found that when we got to all the questions, that's resolved. That's been taken
Yeah.
care of, right?
Yeah.
All that stuff we didn't need to talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
So now I said, okay, well, if we don't need to talk about that, we don't need to talk about it ahead of time either.
Yeah.
I've chopped it down to a 3-hour session now.
Yeah.
And when we come to the questions, I in the 3-hour sessions, I'd say come with 5 questions. We're already going to ask, what is your purpose? What is your mission? Why are you here? Who are you?
Yeah.
Those kind of questions. That's all part of the package. But then what do you specifically want to know? So there's 5 questions there.
Yeah.
Usually they're addressing something. Somebody might want to include weight loss with it or something like that,
Mhm.
right? And so when we're doing that, I lost my train of thought. Uh,
It'll come back. Give it a moment. Take a nice big deep breath and a stretch. There you
yeah,
go.
I'm lost.
Okay. Yeah, so I think it depends. Maybe it sounds a little more client centered, and it really depends on their goals and how much time you'll spend.
Yeah, yeah. When you get into um, doing those things, like what are the 5 most important things that you want to talk about when you're doing QHHT and they come with 25, 30 questions, right?
Yeah,
They're just writing stuff down. Some
yeah,
people used to bring 50. One person brought 133.
I know. They come
That
in with
one's
the
on
double
video
side
too.
pages, and it's like, the quality is not going to be there in the answers. How about we pick out your top 10 and we
Yeah,
see about really getting better quality answers? And most of the time, it's answered anyway through the journey, but
yeah, yeah. Most
yeah,
of that stuff's resolved. So
yeah,
why bother with all that front end talking about problem,
yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
when you focus on problem, you get more problem.
That's right. Yeah,
So why focus on that? And so I've changed it. I don't really do. If somebody says, "Hey, I want a QHHT session," I'll do a
yeah,
QHHT session. So um,
yeah,
now that I've got it down, it's like a 3-hour hypnotic awakening experience, and it's available as a standalone, like live one-on-one session like this on Zoom
mhm,
or in person, or I have it pre-recorded so it's on a course.
okay,
Saves a ton of money that way. Um, and that's the main thing. And then I have, if somebody needs to come back, I got a 3-hour or I got an hour and a half booster session.
yeah.
I was calling them booster shots, but I thought, nah, I don't want to align with that at all.
Well,
Because everybody loves their booster shots, right? Well, not
mm,
everybody. No,
again,
I don't.
divergent. I didn't go that path.
Me either.
I heard that on TV and was like, yeah, not for me. I'm good, thanks. You can guilt me, you can shame me. It is not going to hit.
Yeah, yeah. I was an activist for the longest time, and I looked into pesticides and that, and I got really into the science and how corrupt the science is behind all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I've seen what goes on in the background and how they perform this stuff. That whole trust the science thing.
No.
They
Trust
tell
the
you
indoctrination.
when somebody tells you to trust them, usually you shouldn't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
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 Who tells you to trust them? Used car salesman. Trust me, it's the greatest deal ever.
Yeah.
Right? When somebody says trust me, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to use that trust. It's an induction. It's a hypnotic phrase. And trust is not actually meant for other people, because you're supposed to trust yourself.
Yes.
Trust is an inside job.
Absolutely.
That's the outside in trusting other people.
Yeah.
Right? When you look for outside guidance, like when you need to be taught from the outside.
Yeah.
Everybody's
you're going to learn not the way you want it.
Instead of that inner wisdom. I mean,
yeah.
You heard the stuff that comes from inside, eh? Like, it's incredible what you know.
Yeah.
Here's one that I quite often ask my clients. Do you know how to grow an eyeball?
I don't, but I know your answer. I've seen too many Jeff talks and presentations and conferences.
Yeah. Your hand. Can you grow a hand?
No.
Right? Well, you already grew a hand. You grew two of them. You grew 2 eyes. You grew a heart. So you know how to do all that stuff. You've already done it. You just don't know how to do it consciously.
That's right.
See, when we go to the subconscious realm, there is much more in the subconscious realm than there is in the conscious realm. We don't know too much, right? It's like that tip of the iceberg thing. The vast knowledge that's in here. We know everything. And if you connect, I like to use this is my mind frame. So this is the conscious mind, right? And the conscious mind is the part of the mind that's paying attention right now. It's listening to the sound of my voice, looking at the screen. You're not paying attention to the feeling in the bottom of your feet right now.
Yeah.
Until I mentioned it, and all of a sudden you switched your focus down to there. So whatever's consciously in your mind, you're not thinking about your breathing, are you? Right? So that stuff is at the unconscious level when you're not thinking about it. So that is your conscious mind. And then, of course, the unconscious mind is everything that you're not thinking about it. And I liken it to a huge warehouse. So you're in a huge warehouse and everything's completely black. And all you have is one little flashlight. Everything you shine the flashlight on is your conscious mind. And you can change it when you're looking over there, you can see that, but once you shine it over here, you can't see that anymore. That becomes subconscious, and now you can see this part over here. Some of the stuff we can't access, like how to grow an eyeball, but it's encoded in our DNA. We know how to do it. Our body knows how to do it. At some level, we know how to do everything. All the answers are inside of us at the subconscious realm. And all we have to do to get there to dissolve the critical faculty. And that's what our hypnosis is. That induction is just about creating that rapport where people will allow themselves to have the experience.
Yeah.
Right? The easiest way for, I don't know if you've ever had a client, they're in their head. You're trying to deeper and deeper and deeper, right? And they're saying, this isn't working. I'm not feeling anything at all.
Thankfully
I don't like
not.
the tone of his voice. What's going on? I'm not feeling anything. It's supposed to be like this, but I'm not feeling that. When they're doing that in their head, hypnosis isn't going to work. And so bypassing that part of the mind, so it's not doing that, allows you to access that stuff. It's like test anxiety. That's the name of it. Test anxiety. When you have test anxiety and you're sitting there and you've studied and you know all the answers, but you just can't think of them. And that's because your critical faculty, this part, you're in fear. So that part is inflamed and won't allow you to access the subconscious realm where all the information is. And so once you can get beyond that, and I got it here, I got the unconscious, I got the higher self, then I got these unnamed realms, because, well, where's your past life? Where is that stored? When you connect to your guides and you talk to them, where are they? Some of my clients, they'll channel God or Jesus or somebody like that, and where's that, right? It's in the non-physical. Well, God is both physical and non-physical. I mean, he is me, he is you, he's that plaque on your wall behind you, he's everything, right? Well, it's everything, it's not a he. God is the all, right? And so we're just a part of that. And that's one of the biggest problems we have in the spiritual awakening community, is that people think, I'm God, and then they go out there thinking that they're God. When no, yes and no. Like that ant over there, that's God too. Right? So in that way, we're all God, but we're not God. It's like if I took this one hair here and I pulled it out, could it go to the bank and take out a loan? No, it's not me. It can't win an argument. It can't do anything except be a hair, right? And so we don't have the full power of God. We're just a hair, right? Hopefully on a decent part of the body.
A singular expression.
Yeah. They say we're all one, right? And we are. Only separated by our IP addresses. Like it's like our computers, right? We all each have our separate computer. It's on the network, and when we do that, we're just here. But when we go out there and we start searching on the internet, that's like what we do with our own subconscious. It's almost like we've created the internet based on how the human mind actually works. It's all inside. It's not outside. Of course, with the internet, that's the outside in, and from here it's the inside out. So we have that same network inside, and when we access it, we can access everything that we need right within us. We have all the answers. We're not,
I mean, spontaneous healing happens
yeah,
over and over again.
We're not broken. We're not broken. It's, you think you're broken, and so you threw all this crap on top of it. So it's all that crap on top of it that you want to get rid of, so you can remember who you really are on the inside and allow that version of you to come out. You mentioned the inner child. Sometimes if somebody's having a problem getting into their light, I've had to pull out the inner child work. And now everybody has a different way of working with the inner child. Mine is just really just here's the inner child, and you just visualize the inner child in front of you. Then you have a conversation with it. Find out what its needs are.
Do you do any spirit releasement work?
Sometimes, if that's what they need. Usually that's part of the mental and emotional purge. If there's something that they need, sometimes people will have implants, or there's all kinds of strange things that might come up there. It might be they might, and whatever a person believes that's going on with them, that's what's going on with them. I think it's all a manifestation of the mind in the first place,
which is what Dolores Cannon believed as well.
So if somebody believes they have an implant, you work with the implant. Is there a real implant? Does it matter? As long as you imagine that you get rid of the implant, then it's gone. If somebody else is in your body, somebody like a demon possession or something like that, as long as you imagine that you cast them off, they're gone. Right? It doesn't matter if it's real or not, because none of the stuff that I do, I tell my clients, don't believe what I say. Right? I'm just giving you some information. It's up to you to figure out what's right.
Right. What's resonating with them in the moment and their experience.
I don't know if resonating is the right word, because sometimes when you resonate with something, like if I tell you a hard truth that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's not resonating.
if it's a hard truth, then they may feel, if they have a belief that goes in alignment with it, they will feel that resonance. It's not a comfortable feeling, but they'll feel it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff, like your growth, the path to growth is in the areas where you feel uncomfortable, not where you
Right.
resonate and you agree with stuff.
Yeah.
Because the life that you got, the
See, I
beliefs
don't
that
think
you have,
resonance is always a comfortable, soft thing. I think we can resonate with things that we don't enjoy and that we don't like, but it's still, if it hits a core of a thread of something that's there, they're going to feel it. So we use that word differently.
yeah,
That's what I'm learning. Yeah.
yeah, and so I've learned. I used to think, oh, go with what resonates,
Mhm.
and I think that limits your growth
Yeah.
because you will only go with things that you already believe, and your problems are rooted in your beliefs. Right? You've got a
Yeah.
belief there that's not serving you, and you need to get rid of that belief. But
Yeah.
if you resonate with others whenever they say that, then you're going to hang on to that belief. The only way to get rid of that belief, when somebody pulls the truth out, you're not going to resonate with that. You're going to try to reject that.
Yeah, again, that's a linguistic thing. For me,
Yeah.
resonance is entirely different, and it's not the
Yeah.
warm, fuzzy resonance. It's a, oh, I feel this. There's connection to
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
explore that differently, but linguistics are fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I get where you're going there.
Yeah. You're probably
Oh,
more in touch with your emotions than the layperson.
I'm more inclined to deal with my shadow and whatever is
Yeah.
uncomfortable. If something's uncomfortable, I'm gonna go play with it because that's what it needs. It doesn't bother me to do it. Most people try to run and avoid, but I don't
Yeah.
enjoy that.
Yeah. You asked about
So
the shadow earlier,
yeah,
and you
sure.
just mentioned it again. And I don't think I've really got into that because the
I love
shadow,
I love shadow work. Yeah.
well, the shadow is those things that create our biggest emotions, right? So
Hmm.
the things that we hate
Yeah.
and the things that we love.
Yeah.
And so if you're idolizing somebody, your subconscious wants you to be more like that. Those are the
Hmm.
parts that are missing in you.
Hmm.
You see them in them.
Yeah.
And so your subconscious wants you to free yourself so that you can be more like that. And
Hmm.
the same thing with the things that you hate
Yeah.
is that those are the parts of you. You're basically yelling at yourself. It's
Mm.
showing you the unresolved parts of you. And the biggest thing right now, of course, is the whole thing with Trump. Not getting into politics or anything like that, but
Oh,
with the
I've done
people,
it here before. It's fine.
okay, with the people that hate,
I had
with the
Brian Bay
people.
as a guest. That ended that. Cheers, Brian.
Okay, okay, good. So when people are hating Trump, this whole Trump derangement syndrome thing,
Mhm.
what they're doing is that it's all the shadow,
Yeah.
and so they're projecting their unresolved pieces of themselves onto Trump.
Yeah.
And look at him, look at him. Well, that's you that you're pointing at.
Yeah.
And when you accept that, okay,
And the
it's
reverse is
not really
true
Trump.
too. He's not here to save us. It's, the truth is somewhere in the middle, ladies and gents.
Yeah,
He's a flawed human being like the rest of us.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
nobody that's going to save you. The only one that can save you is you,
Yeah.
right? Because the people who admire him, they want him to save them. He's the
Mm.
savior, the father
Mhm.
figure,
Yeah.
right? Those are the things that
And they
they need to
do,
start
and they
getting out.
do. There are people who, when he came back into office, said, "Oh, Daddy's home," and it's just like I don't like that term, but okay. That's a little cringy for me, but
Yeah, yeah. And
yeah,
the haters there, well, what
yeah,
they need to do is they need to go inside and say, how does that apply? What's the unresolved trauma I have behind that?
yeah,
And the weird thing is that once you resolve and let go of that trauma that's in behind that,
mhm,
the hate disappears.
yeah,
You can not like what he's doing,
mhm,
but that emotional charge that goes with it is gone.
yeah,
That hatred, because that hate doesn't do anything to him.
yeah,
It's like swallowing poison again, right? That hate is swallowing poison, hoping it's going to kill Trump.
yeah.
And there's like a million people, or I don't know, maybe even more,
You are gonna get
that
me shadow banned. That's what's gonna happen. That was not an implication. That was not a suggestion.
No.
Let's start throwing out disclaimers here.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get off of that subject then.
No, but it's
It's just
true.
an indication
And
that you got to do your shadow work, and when you
yeah,
do your shadow work and you go inside and do that, the stuff doesn't bother you anymore.
when you look at it from the psychology end, there's something that borderlines and narcissists do called splitting. And splitting is that very black and white thinking where something is all good or all bad. And I think anytime we're looking at something from the lens of, oh, this is all good or that is all bad, if you see your nemesis and you can't see any good in anything they do in any part of their life, you're the problem.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's well, it's strange the way society works. Everything is. I used to say backwards and stuff, but it's outside in.
Yeah.
Everything's twisted outside in. And that's why the world seems so wacky right now.
And so I'm
Uh,
guessing that through this process, after you've been done working with people, that the change is drastic, that they really are more fulfilled and satisfied in life and able to achieve some pretty great things.
yeah, yeah. I even recently had a young guy. He was ready to end it all,
Mm,
and now he's happy.
yeah.
And his mom wants a session.
That is a good session when the family members start coming in. I want what he got.
Yeah, yeah. I was at a, a, an event where I had a booth, and somebody came up, and of course I didn't recognize them, but she had her friends, and they were all they were all going on about how much she's changed. Right? They all
Yeah.
noticed it,
Yeah.
and they all appreciated the changes because she's a much better person now. Right? So
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, if the
yeah, that
suffering is gone, yeah, people tend to be better people. Yeah.
yeah, they can be more themselves instead of being that fake version of themselves, living
Mm,
from fear all the time.
yeah.
That fear that
So,
just causes so many problems.
yes, sure does. So, when someone's working through your self paced program, tell us a little bit about what that's like.
Well, I've added some extra stuff, frames. In NLP, we have frames. So I talk about cause and effect, and um, I talk about stress. It's another frame that I explain how stress works. And I have lots of metaphors that I use so that people can easily understand what I'm talking about. And so I explain how the trauma happens and all this other stuff. And this all sets you up so that you understand what's going on first.
Yeah.
And then I have a whole section there about hypnosis. It's more how to do hypnotic trance. And so, of course, magnetic fingers. Um, I do revivification. I do.
Mhm.
Uh, are you familiar with Dolores Cannon's regression workshop?
Which one? The
The past life,
guides, the past life. Yeah, I've
the
got them
past
all.
life regression, right? So that pre stuff that she does in there, where
Okay.
you visit you find yourself on a street corner in a busy city and doing all that kind of stuff. So I,
I don't remember that one. Hmm. I'm
so
going to have
I,
to go
I,
back.
I do a lot of visualization and training so that people get used to this is what hypnosis is,
Yeah, how it
so
feels.
that when we get to the trance and they close their eyes and they say, all I see is black, right?
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
they're trying to see instead in the pre-talk, I'll tell them, don't think about a pink elephant.
Hmm.
And then I'll ask, where'd you see that elephant? Right? Because that's how you visualize. And
Yeah.
I'll have them go through a memory, right? Just remember a time, something specific to them. And when they go through all these different phases, it's like, oh, so visualizing is just like remembering.
Yeah.
Like people say that they have that aphantasia, and I can't,
Mhm.
I don't can't visualize and stuff. Okay, and so
Mhm.
then I start doing some things and I ask them some questions, and it's clear that at some level they visualize because they wouldn't be able to answer.
The kicker for me with aphantasia is they dream. They can remember the visual qualities of their dreams. It's like, get out of here. Um, but I will say for people who do have that problem, it doesn't have to be permanent. You can actually become more adept with your skill and improve the quality of the experience that you're going to have.
Yeah. When you get things reframed for you, um, then that's what I do is I like to make sure that the journey along the way that they're going to know what they need to do in order to do the hypnosis properly.
Yeah, it sounds
Right.
like you
Instead of,
put a lot of little experiences in there so that they're starting to build that muscle and gain the skill,
yeah,
which is
yeah, it's a
great. 'Cause
learned
that means,
skill.
yeah, by the time they're
Yeah.
done, that means they're going to still have that skill, that they're going to be able to do some good self care and self work on the other end whenever they have to.
Self-hypnosis. Yeah.
Mhm.
Although everybody's already doing self-hypnosis.
Poorly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That mental chatter going on in everybody's,
Yeah.
that's the hypnotist doing its job right now.
Yeah.
You're not good enough. They don't like you. You're not.
Yeah.
That, oh, getting rid of that voice,
Mhm.
it's the most freeing thing that I ever did.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have to listen to that anymore.
Yeah.
I used to think I would have times where I'd get the hot tub all ready to go, and I'd go out there and spend an hour because this is like I was gonna get creative and think about things and do all. I didn't realize I was entering into stress doing that. I thought I was relaxing. I thought I was being creative. No, I was
Mhm.
going into stress.
Wow. I don't know. I guess I don't see going into stress, at least not for me, because that's where I do all my best thinking. If you're wondering about how my sessions have evolved, it was from me having a long Epsom salt bath and learning some things.
Yeah.
I've never gone into stress in water. So it's weird that you kind of had that little connection between the two.
Well, I forced it, right? Because I was getting into that mental thing of thinking about things.
Mm,
When you're thinking about things, that part that's doing those thinking about things is the stress part of you,
mm,
right? If you're into positive, like if you, I found that if I allowed myself, if I just cleared my mind, then I allowed stuff to come up,
yeah. Yeah.
right? Not anything specific. I don't control it. You just, it's like um, it's like channeling.
Yeah.
Right? When you are doing a past life, you channel that past life. I even tell my clients they channel their own personality,
Mm, mhm,
right? It's not stored right there. I also
yeah.
tell them they got 200 personalities too, but that's another story. um,
Oh, good.
we get into a lot of stuff. Uh, but um, when you're into that and you allow yourself to get distracted and in your head,
Mm,
right? And you start saying those little things. That's when you get distracted and you can't remember what you're saying and stuff like that.
mm, okay.
And when you just
I
allow
just
yourself to,
assumed that was anything over 40. I'm not having fun right now. Where are my keys? Where are my shoes? Where's my
why
brain?
did I come in this room? Hmm.
I'm trying, Harry Potter things over here. Accio brain apparently doesn't work. So I
Yeah.
tried it. Now you
Yeah.
know.
Well, there's a whole belief that the belief that you start
Yeah.
losing your memory when you get older is why we lose our memory when we get
I
older.
didn't believe it. I did not believe it. It took a full 2 years to be like, oh, what's happening here? This isn't fun. I'm not having fun.
Well, I found
Yeah.
my phone, right? I was looking for my phone one day and
Mhm.
I couldn't find it anywhere. It was just nowhere. And I was running around the house. It was like 3 passes through the whole house. I still couldn't find it. And
Mm,
then I realized I'm playing that game. I set myself
yeah.
up, I can't find my phone. I can't find my phone. I was
Mm,
programming myself
mhm.
not to find the phone.
Yeah.
And so I settled myself down. I took a deep breath and I said, okay, how do I find my phone? And when I was saying that, I moved a few steps. I was at the one end of the house
Yeah.
and I ended up in a position where at the very end of the sentence, I could see at the other end of the house, right beside the door, my phone was sitting like that. I could hardly see it,
Mm-hmm.
but my subconscious showed me exactly where it
Yeah.
was. And so when I started to ask myself the right question, if I found myself struggling to find something,
Mm-hmm.
and if I asked, how do I find such and such?
Yeah.
It just, I found that all of a sudden, unconsciously, I'd be looking right at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's
The
the same
power of the
thing when
mind, eh?
people wake up and they're like, oh, I can't sleep. And it's like, that should be the last thing you were saying. I'm going
Yeah.
back to sleep now. I'm going to be sleeping right after I take these 3 deep breaths. Like, completely reframe that. It'll be good.
Yeah. 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 So people don't realize how much they talk themselves, like that inner hypnotist is causing them problems. Once you get rid of it, it's freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets rid of all your
Well,
problems, ADHD, that people pleasing, all that stuff. Once you let that go,
yeah,
that's when the amazing life starts.
absolutely. It does. You were mentioning something earlier before we hopped on the call. You said you were going to be having an appearance, and I want to say Gnostic TV.
Yeah. Gnostic TV. I think it's gnostictv.com. And they're all about spiritual, and it's called, the segment is called A Portal to the Soul. And so there's going to be 10 different episodes on this one. I get one episode to myself. I don't know who else is going to be there, but it's going to be all about, well, this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and how we actually realign with our soul again. And I got a process that does it. So I think I'm a perfect fit for it.
Yeah.
And I
That
got my
sounds
email
amazing.
my email saying that I'm a star, that I'm going to be a star. It's like, I never really thought about it until I got that email, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm starring on a TV show. It's kind of cool. I
Mhm.
like it.
If you see Debbie Solaris, give her a high five from me.
Debbie
Love that
Solaris.
lady.
Okay.
She does the
Okay.
Galactic Akashic Records work. She's
Okay.
amazing. Yeah. But you might
Okay.
see some Gaia friendly faces there, I'm sure. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, that's my first time doing one of those kind of things. So that's going to be pretty amazing. And it's the first one of many more to come. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that'll be in January. I'll be promoting it. So if people want to connect with me, they'll be sure to find out that it's coming. If you're a member of Gnostic TV, of course, then their promotion will hit you for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got all of your information in the show notes. So if people want to jump on and have that awakening experience with you, then they can choose their route and have a chat with you. But thank you for your time, your energy, for just being so open and authentic and willing to be so generous today.
Oh, thanks. I really appreciate this opportunity. I enjoyed having this conversation with you.
Me too. We should do this more often. I enjoy actually seeing you outside of the conference experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I was even thinking about starting my own podcast too. So um,
Yeah,
I got to get on
absolutely.
that one of these days. Then I'll be able to connect more like this
Yeah.
with other people, and I'll be more listening to them than them listening to me. So that'll be a change.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. A lot of my guests are really purely selfish. It's people that I enjoy and want to spend more time with, and who have mastered something really freaking cool.
Yeah.
So just that you were here, indeed, star quality, my friend. But thank you so much for being here today. And Soulful Seekers, everything you need is in the show notes to reach out and have an experience with Jeff, whether you choose to have live sessions or go the course route. This is a really cool opportunity to do some soul saving work.
Yeah.
And otherwise, my friends, stay happy, stay healthy, stay well, but most of all, stay inspired. Bye for now.
Yeah. Peace out. Have a good one.